With the recent announcement that The Last of Us was getting a second remake in less than 10 years, it got me thinking about great games that truly deserve the remaster treatment. This led me to one of the greatest Western role-playing games of all time, The Elder Scrolls IV: Oblivion. Hi, I'm Peeve, and this is why I believe that Oblivion deserves a full remaster. Oblivion launched way back in 2006. To put that into perspective, the first Assassin's Creed game didn't launch until 2007, as did a small game you may have heard of called Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. Robert Downey Jr. had yet to introduce the world to Iron Man and set the MCU in motion. It feels like a full lifetime ago. It was a time of transitioning in gaming, with the Xbox 360 being the new console on the market and the PlayStation 3 still being a year away from its launch here in the UK. So to see this massive open world game coming with the visuals far beyond anything that we've seen on previous generation consoles, it truly felt like a next gen game, possibly the first real next generation experience of that generation of consoles. Oblivion launched to universal acclaim, going on to win Game of the Year from many media outlets. That doesn't mean that the game was without controversy. There are a number of bugs in the original release. I mean, of course there was. This is a Bethesda game after all. It was also the game that's often attributed to the first ever microtransaction, in the form of Horse Armor DLC. But these are all small notes in the grand scale of Oblivion. A game where you had the freedom to roleplay however you wanted to. On top of the main quest, there were extra faction quests in the form of the Thieves Guild, the Fighters Guild, the Mages Guild, and the Dark Brotherhood. There was also the Imperial City Arena, but that felt less like a quest and more like somewhere you would go when you started the game to get a free set of armor and some easy gold to start. On top of that, the game is littered with side quests and deep lore around every corner, begging the player to explore and really immerse themselves in that world. Oblivion went on to see a number of DLC packs come out, as well as a large expansion called the Shivering Isles. These DLC packs added even more to the game, and helped to make Cyrodiil feel like a living, breathing province of Tamriel. It had a scale to it that even to this day felt so large that it's hard to put into words. Due to it being the centre of the Elder Scrolls world, you can travel in any direction and get a feel of what may lay just outside of the play area, places like the snowy mountains of Skyrim or the swampy marshes of Blackmarsh. Since the launch of Oblivion, Bethesda have gone on to make many more games such as Fallout 3, 4 and even Skyrim. But despite all these games being great in their own right, it has never truly felt like any of them hold up to Oblivion. The beautiful grassland, the rolling hills spread from city to city, the level of scale felt as a player dropped into this world. It didn't make you feel important. The game made you feel like you were just a guy in the right place at the right time. Sure, it tells you that you matter, and that you've been trusted by the Emperor with his dying wish. But this wish wasn't for you to do anything great, but rather for you to find his last heir so that they can do great things. You are not the Dragonborn or the Saviour of the Wasteland. You are just you, the character you created at the start of the game. This is one of the best features of Oblivion. Although your character is important, you never really feel like the star of the show, but rather just an avatar that's there to make the player feel like they're truly in that world. You are treated like you would expect throughout the game. Some NPCs treat you with pure disdain, while others will be there and treat you like a hero. It all comes down to the actions the player takes and the path that takes them down. A lot has changed since the launch of Oblivion in the land of gaming. Having had the entire lifecycle of both the PlayStation 3 and 4, Skyrim has come into this world and re-released about 10 times. Now there's entire generations of players that have played Skyrim but have yet to experience Oblivion. And while we continue to wait for the Elder Scrolls 6, I can't think of a better time to revisit, remaster and update a beloved game from that franchise. The era of the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 have seen many games get a remake or a re-release, and this just feels like a crime when a game so important to the evolution of Western RPGs has been left to history. This doesn't take away from the fact that you can still play Oblivion via backwards compatibility on Xbox and on PC. It is even included on Games Pass on both systems. But with a gaming world as vast and beautiful as Oblivion, it feels as though it would be the perfect game to showcase how far we've come in games. The quality of the visuals, lighting and draw distance have all come on leaps and bounds. This combined with the thousands of new Elder Scrolls fans, thanks to Skyrim and the Elder Scrolls Online, that have never got a chance to play Oblivion. There is a huge market out there waiting for this game. The modding community has been making attempts to update Oblivion over the years, most famously Skyblivion, which began in 2012 and is still going to this day. But in truth, the scale of such a game would require a full team working full-time hours purely just with the focus of making the game. That's not to take away from the team of modders who have slaved away over the years, and honestly, I don't understand why Microsoft doesn't just pay them, bring them into the Xbox fold, giving them the resources and support needed to finish this project. They are clearly a motivated and dedicated group of people. Alternatively, give a task to a remaster to one of the other studios that Microsoft has acquired over the years. I am neither a developer or a modder, so I will not pretend to understand the level of work that is required to remake or remaster a game such as Oblivion. But I am a gamer, and I for one would be so hyped to see Oblivion have its day in the sun again. With all that said, I am just me, and this is just my opinion. I would love to hear what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you want to see Oblivion get a remaster? Or do you think we've had enough remasters and the industry should continue to move forward, creating great experiences for players rather than dragging up games from the past? If you have enjoyed this content, then please let me know by hitting the like button. Also, please consider subscribing to see all the other stuff that we are working on over here at Blue Team Media. And until next time, I have been Peeve, you've been awesome, I'm out of here.